Hi my loves, I hope you're doing well. Today I will be reviewing Diorissimo Eau de Parfum by Dior. I will also compare it with Diorissimo Extrait de Parfum that I do have a tiny sample of. So if that's something that you're interested in, please keep watching. And if you're new here, hello and welcome. I make videos on perfumes, beauty and handbags, and I do hauls and reviews, and I would really appreciate if you would consider subscribing to my channel and be sure to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified of new videos and giveaways. First, I will talk about the history of the perfume because it is a classic, and then I will share some fun facts. Then I will share the notes and how the fragrance develops on me, and I will also do the comparisons, and then I will share my overall thoughts. Diorissimo was first created by Edmond Hutniska in 1956. He's also the nose behind other Dior fragrances like Eau Sauvage, Diorama, which I also absolutely love, and Rocha Femme. And he created Diorissimo to rebel against very complex fragrances that had too many notes going on, which in his opinion made them too chaotic and muddled. And he was also against sweet gourmand perfumes that smell like food that were trending at that time. And guys, I didn't know that gourmand fragrances existed back then. And I thought the sweet and sugary dessert-like fragrances were a recent trend, or at least, from the 90s onwards. I didn't know that they were doing this back in the 50s too. And personally, I don't like gourmand fragrances much either. I don't want to smell like food, especially dessert. I don't like smelling like caramel, chocolate, whipped cream, cake, pies. I prefer to leave them on the dining table, please. Thank you. So I am so glad he decided to create something different, and I wish someone would do that again now, because I don't like gourmand fragrances at all. I think they belong on the dining table and not on the body. Anyway, back to the review. So he wanted to break that trend and create something really simple yet very elegant. And so he partnered with Christian Dior to create this fragrance. And perhaps most of you already know this is a Lily of the Valley fragrance. And Lily of the Valley is considered to be a really special flower by the French. Legend has it that a brave warrior by the name of Saint Leonard or Saint Leonard, who lived a life dedicated to God, lived in the woods. And one day he had to fight an evil dragon, and as they fought, there was blood spilled, and eventually he succeeded in defeating the dragon. But where the dragon's blood had spilled, poisonous weeds started to grow, and where Saint Leonard's blood fell, Lily of the Valley grew. So for the French, Lily of the Valley is a symbol of hope, happiness, and joy. And for Christian Dior, it was a special flower also because he planted this every year with his mother in his childhood home in Normandy. And Lily of the Valley is also the emblem of House of Dior. Sadly, the old fragrance is gone due to restrictions on the ingredients. This was reformulated in 2009. And actually, a lot of the old Dior classics like Diorama, Dior Essence, Diorella were relaunched in 2009 as part of the Les Créations de Monsieur Dior collection. And these were created by Dior's in-house perfumer, François Demachy. Now, the original fragrance had 12 notes, and this current fragrance has only 3. So you can only imagine how glorious and beautiful that original fragrance must have been. So the top note of this fragrance is Lily of the Valley, middle note is Indian Jasmine Absolute, and the base note is White Musk. So I'm going to spray this now just to get the opening again. Oh. So the fragrance starts out quite strong, a little bit alcoholic and even metallic, sometimes metallic. In the morning when I had sprayed it, it was metallic. It's not very metallic now. And then it quickly turns into a Lily of the Valley fragrance. It's quite cool, green, sweet, and dewy Lily of the Valley. And after about 30 minutes or so, the jasmine peeks through just very slightly. And it does add depth to the fragrance, and I can detect it because I have been smelling fresh jasmine almost every day because I have Indian jasmine blooming in our garden these days. And because of that familiarity, I had my husband smell this and he could only get jasmine. But that's not the case with me. For me, it is pretty much Lily of the Valley. The jasmine is there very slightly. I mean, I do get that very typical, really addictive, indolic sharpness of jasmine, but it's very, very muted here. It's not sharp at all. I mean, it's just like it's sort of an underlying smell, but the main smell that I get is that of lily of the valley. And I do get a little bit of musk as well, and I think it makes it very light, airy, clean. But it is essentially a through and through lily of the valley fragrance, almost like a soliflor. It has about arm's length projection for the first 2-3 hours and can stretch up to 4 hours if you spray it on clothes as well. Again, sillage is also good for the first 4 hours, and you can get more if you spray it on clothes. On me, it lasts about 6 to 8 hours, and it can also last all day, up to 10-12 hours if I do 4 to 6 sprays and I also spray a bit on the clothes. Now let's move on to the Extrait de Parfum. The top note in this is ylang ylang, middle note is lily of the valley, and base note is Indian jasmine absolute. So there is a bit of a difference in the notes here, like this one does not have white musk at all. And the top note in Eau de Parfum is lily of the valley, whereas the top note here is ylang ylang. There is no ylang ylang here. So there is a bit of difference. And I'm wearing Extrait on this wrist and Eau de Parfum on this side. And when I compare the two side by side, I find that Extrait is definitely more rounded, deeper, richer, creamier, smoother, purer fragrance. Whereas EDP is more airy, it's dewy, it's musky and light. And I do get more jasmine in Eau de Parfum than in the Extrait. I don't get too much ylang ylang. It's mostly, again, just lily of the valley, but it's just a little bit more intense than this. However, the Extrait de Parfum comes only in 50 ml size, and it's a dabber and not a spray, and I prefer a spray. And I think it lasts almost just as much as the EDP, although I don't think it's a fair comparison. I don't do very well with dabbers. I don't think I really get a sense of how long they will last or how much they project, because you can only dab so much. Whereas with a spray, you can be more liberal and you can spray all over. But if you were to really ask, is there a difference between the two? Yes, absolutely. Is the Extrait better? Yes, absolutely. But is the difference worth the price and the additional effort I'd have to put in for dabbing? No, absolutely not. Also, I am not sure if this is even available in the US anymore, because I don't see it on the US website. It was showing up a few days earlier, maybe a week back, but now it's not available for sale. It is still available on European websites. So I don't know if it's out of stock temporarily here or they've decided not to sell it here anymore. Let me know in the comments below if you know anything about it. And because it's a dabber, I'm sorry guys, I will not be able to tell you more in detail about the performance of this fragrance, except that it is an Extrait and it performs like any Extraits. It's deeper, richer, more intense, and quite beautiful actually. And although there is a slight difference in the notes, if you don't smell this, you really can't tell the difference between the two. I can tell the difference only because I have them side by side on two of my wrists. If I didn't have this one, I would find this one equally beautiful and elegant. So I think Eau de Parfum performs quite well in terms of longevity and projection for a fragrance that has only 3 notes. But it is a simple fragrance and it's through and through a lily of the valley fragrance. So if that is something that you like, you will love this fragrance. And I will be honest here guys, for many years, actually I didn't like this perfume at all. It smelled synthetic, metallic, and it was a bit off-putting. And I think it's the Extrait that finally lured me into liking this one. And even though I was trying out only the Extrait for many years, I did not have Eau de Parfum, but I've had the sample for quite a while now. And every time I tried it, I didn't like it. So I don't know, maybe the stars had to be aligned for me to start liking it, or what happened, maybe my body chemistry changed. I recently fell in love with this. And I craved it so much that I had to get a bigger bottle. And I do like it very much now. It's a very simple but elegant fragrance. It doesn't change, it stays the same throughout the day. And honestly, I do find it a bit boring sometimes, on some days. Not every day, not all the time. It's only happened maybe for a day or two that I found it a bit boring. And that's because I like my perfumes to be a bit more complex and have a lot more going on and to change throughout the day. So in that sense, it's a little bit like Jo Malone fragrances, but of course much better in terms of performance and refinement. Actually, you can't even compare the two. And even though it stays the same all day, it does not turn stale or bad or sour. It's just that it's the same fragrance all day long. And for most days I have enjoyed it. It's just for a couple of days I think I felt that I wanted something different towards the evening. So I think it might be great for those days when I'm feeling overwhelmed and there's already a lot going on. And maybe I would then appreciate an uncomplicated but sophisticated, high quality and refined fragrance. It really smells beautiful. I mean, there is no doubt there. It is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It's inoffensive. It can be worn at work, for a casual day, even a romantic date. And it's a beautiful spring-summer fragrance in my opinion, and can also be worn on a hot autumn day because it is such a cool, green, dewy floral fragrance. Definitely a feminine fragrance in my opinion. And it's appropriate for any age if you like floral fragrances. And my loves, this is not a dated, old-fashioned or vintage smelling fragrance. It is very modern and relevant fragrance even today. If you have tried the vintage Diorissimo, please let me know how do you think that compares to this one. I'm sure that would be beautiful. Is it any good at all, or is the vintage one much better? But have they been able to retain the essence of the fragrance or not? I would love to know. The vintage Diorissimo had civet in it, so I'm wondering if that was animalic in any way or was it nice? I don't know. But anyway, but regardless, guys, I still believe that this is a very beautiful fragrance. So that was the review and comparison. Let me know what you think about this fragrance, if this is something that you would like to try, or if you already have, what do you think about it? Are you enjoying it? Does it get boring for you as well? And when do you really enjoy wearing it? You know, what kind of weather, what kind of occasion? I would love to hear from you. So that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like these. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.